CALDO services that are available to candidates. Right now, let's with a brief overview of basically what is CALDO. So CALDO is a gateway, like it's basically an office that the university decided to put together to address students that had an interest in master and PhD students from Latin America. So we have agreements with different countries that I will talk a bit about in the next slide, and we exist mostly to make sure that applicants have access to um, information about graduate programs, being masters or PhD. One of the things that you eventually could be thinking at this moment is why should I consider Canada to do my master and PhD studies? If you're not familiar with Canada, one of the things that it's important to realize is that all of the Canadian universities have a very good reputation in terms of quality of teaching and services available to students. Um, Also, another great and very interesting aspect of the Canadian universities is the fact that they are very multicultural, which means that you will have a lot of colleagues and a lot of other students and professors that are coming from different parts of the world, and that gives the campus, the university campus, truly multicultural aspect, and you're able to meet people from all over the world, which is something that enriches the experience of studying here. One other thing that it's very characteristics of Canada is that the country has two main languages, English and French. And depending on the university that you're studying, you're able to study either in English or in French. And you are able to, if you have a preference for one specific language, to have some more options that not just the English language. One other important feature is that obviously if you get a certificate, a diploma from one of our universities, the diploma will be recognized worldwide, and that might be valuable if you're thinking on working or developing professional careers in different countries, that not just where you are right now. Talking about the Canadian universities that are part of CALDO, you can see here in this slide that we have 9 Canadian universities at the present that are part of this group. University of Alberta, Calgary, Dalhousie, Laval, Ottawa, Queens, Saskatchewan, Waterloo, and Western. So these are the 9 members of CALDO. And one important thing to mention at this point is that CALDO is not a structure that exists only in the, it's not a private entity. So it's the universities are the created CALDO. So CALDO is part of the university. It's an office that belongs to the university. In terms of the countries where we currently are, CALDO basically only develop its activities in Latin America. So you will not, if you are from other countries, you will not be able to use our services. So right now, we work with candidates from Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. These are the countries that we currently have agreements with. And the agreements that we have are with funding agencies from this country. So we have agreements with agencies that provide scholarships from this country. So for example, for Chile, we have an agreement with CONICYT. CONICYT will allow candidates that want to study in Canada for master and PhD programs. They will finance their studies in terms of tuition payments and the costs of living also. In a very summarized way, and we will address this more in depth in the next slides. What the services that CALDO offers are basically from two main types. The first one is what type of programs and what type of universities are best suited for you. So let's imagine that you want to do a master in mechanical engineering, and you're not sure which universities offer that program. Through CALDO, you are able to get an idea of which are the universities that offer that program. We will assist you with getting information about the program, about the admission requirements, about professors, so that you can make an informed decision. The other aspect that we also work with is we have a dedicated CALDO pre-assess platform that it's basically a platform where you create a profile, and if you are able to provide all the documents that are required for that pre-assessment, we are able to put you in contact with supervisors. And this is extremely relevant specifically for PhD programs. So in PhD programs, you are able to no, you need to connect with the supervisor in order to gain acceptance. And in that sense, our service allows you to do just that, to reach out to supervisors and see if they have an interest in doing research aligned with what you are looking. Looking at the Canadian academic system, we can see that it's very similar to what you find in Chile. So after you do your licenciatura, you can go and do a master degree. The master degree usually lasts 2 years, and in Canada it can be of two types. Thesis-based master, that it's basically a master with research, or course-based master, that is also called sometimes a professional master, such as MBAs. Also, a lot of engineering programs offer the two options, so the option with research and the option just with courses. Once you do your master, and in Canada it's very important to have a master to apply to a PhD, you are able to enroll and apply into a PhD program. So the PhD programs usually last between 4 to 5 years, and they require a supervisor that will guide you throughout the entire program, that will work alongside you, and you will do mostly research on the third and fourth year, and on the first and second you will also attend some classes so that you gain more knowledge about the specific topic that you're interested in. Some other aspects of why CALDO universities are a good fit for most of the students. One of the things that distinguishes our universities is the fact that all of them have high academic standards in teaching and research. So you will find professors that are very good at their expert. They have a lot of expertise in their field of knowledge, and they have developed studies in different parts of the world. So you have professors that have studied not only in Canada but in the U.S., in Asia, in Europe, in South America also. You also have what it's called a comprehensive range of disciplines. So our universities are all considered to be comprehensive universities, which means that they are universities that offer programs in a wide array of areas. So you will find programs in social sciences, in humanities, in exact sciences, health sciences, engineering, and so on. The universities in total, between masters and PhDs, offer more than 2,000 options in terms of programs. So as you can see, there's a lot of options for you to choose from. And in addition to that, they also offer personalized services such as counseling and admission support for students that are arriving at the university. In addition, the universities also have language schools that allow students to improve their language if they feel the need to do so. Now that you have a general overview of the aspects related to our universities, let's look at each university and see some of the highlights of the universities that are part of CALDO. So let's start with the University of Alberta. The University of Alberta is located in the city of Edmonton. So the city of Edmonton is the capital of the province of Alberta. Canada is divided into 10 provinces. So this is one of them, Alberta, and Edmonton is the capital. And Alberta is one of the most highly ranked universities in Canada. It consistently ranks among the best 100 universities in the world. It's home to the Canadian National Institute for Nanotechnology. It's a top-rated university for fields such as health, sciences, pharmacy, and education. And it has also huge expertise in the areas of energy and environment. The research excellence of this university is along the lines of the areas that I just mentioned, and I would like to highlight that the University of Alberta is one of the universities from Canada that has the most topic that has the most subjects in the top 150 programs in the world. So it's a university that has a huge reputation, without any doubt. In the same province, we will also find the University of Calgary. So the University of Calgary sits around 2 hours away from Edmonton in the city of Calgary. So because it's also located in the province of Alberta, and the province of Alberta is known for all of the energy resources from Canada, it's also a university that focuses a lot of its expertise in the areas of energy research. In addition to that, the University of Calgary is among the best 50 universities in the world with less than 50 years, meaning that in a very short period of time, the university was able to advance a lot the type of reputation that that it has. So in terms of the reputation of the University of Calgary, they are very strong in the areas also of health sciences, mainly biomedical research. And they also have very specific programs, such as, for example, um, PhDs in architecture, and also graduate programs, master and PhD at veterinary sciences, which is something that you will not find at all of our universities. Moving on to Halifax. Halifax is located near the Atlantic Ocean. And because of that, the University of the Dalhousie University is one of the top universities in terms of ocean research. So they have one of the best aquatic research facilities in the world, called the Aquatron Laboratory, and they have a huge reputation in the areas of earth and marine sciences. They also have a wide reputation in the field of agriculture, and are overall a comprehensive university offering programs in very different areas of knowledge. Just for those that are interested in clean technologies, the Dalhousie University has partnered with Tesla Motors in developing batteries for cars. So they have created a partnership with the company so that they can research low cost but very efficient batteries that can be applied to both home and automobiles. Going to the French-speaking province of Canada, the province of Quebec, we will find the University of Laval, Université Laval. Université Laval is located in Quebec City, which is a wonderful city for those that are very enthusiastic about architectural and European architectural and North American architecture. This is a wonderful city to visit and to live in. This university was founded in 1663, and it's the oldest Francophone university in North America. The university has a huge reputation in the fields of agriculture and forestry, also in health sciences and mining. They have top research centers, such as centers in optics photonics, geomatics, and climate change, um, specifically in the North Pole. They develop a lot of research in the North Pole, trying to see what are the effects of climate change in the planet and in the ecosystem in general. Moving on to the capital of Canada, Ottawa, we find the University of Ottawa. So the University of Ottawa is the largest bilingual university in North America. And this basically means that it's the university where you can find the most programs in both French and English. And it's a university that has a huge reputation in the fields of health sciences, law, and political science. Because the university sits in the capital city, and the federal government also obviously is in the capital city of the country. The university has some very specific programs related to public administration, political science, that are among the best in the country. The university also has one of the three Max Planck centers for photonics in North America. So there are only three between Canada and the United States, and one of them sits at the University of Ottawa. Going to Kingston, we find Queen's University. Queen's University was, in 2015, one of its professors was awarded with the Nobel Prize in Physics. The university has a huge reputation in the fields of health sciences, business, and education. It's a university that is constantly ranked among the top 10 in the world for MBA programs or Masters of Management, PhDs in Management. And they have top laboratories in fields such as fuel cell research, high performance computing, and the Center for Health Service and Policy Research. Moving on to Saskatoon, located in the province of Saskatchewan, we find the University of Saskatchewan. Although you might not have heard about Saskatchewan University before, this university is among the top 50 in the world in the fields of agricultural and veterinary. There's a huge level of research being done in agricultural field. So that you have an idea, the university has produced more than 400 commercial crop varieties, and it's home to the Canadian Light Source Institute, which is an institute that it's basically state of the art in the fields of physics. In the fields of veterinary, it's one of the universities in Canada that offers the more options for people interested in both small and large animals. Going to Waterloo, we find the university with the same name, the University of Waterloo. So the University of Waterloo, it's one of the top universities in the world in the areas of computer science. In fact, they have the largest department of computer science in the country, and they are the city of Waterloo, is usually considered to be the Silicon Valley of the North because of the university. There are so many high-profile companies building their offices and moving their offices to Waterloo, which is a huge sign of the quality and the recognition of the university in terms of IT and in particular computer science. But it's not only computer science that you will find in Waterloo. Waterloo has one of the best water institutes in the world, and it's also a top-ranked university for fields such as mathematics. Um, in in um, in other areas, the University of Waterloo, the only thing that they don't offer is a medical school. Outside of that, they have programs in almost all areas of knowledge. Finally, in the city of London, Canada, we find Western University. Western University has a magnificent campus, full of trees, full of gardens, with buildings that are state of the art, but with a very European architecture. And it's one of the top universities in Canada in the fields of psychology, business, and neurosciences in general. They have also a huge reputation in the fields of geography, medicine, and chemical engineering. Recently, we have been able to visit some people doing research at Western, and we were very pleased to see that a lot of them are coming from Latin America, which is very good because obviously it's important that people feel at home when they go to study in a new university. One thing that might be important for you to know is to have an idea of what is the sort of profile from the universities in terms of employability rankings. So, for example, in 2016, there was a publication done by the QS World Rankings. And it's basically an agency that does rankings for universities worldwide. And they identified Waterloo, Calgary, Alberta, Queens, and Western to be among the best 300 universities in the world in terms of employability. This is a huge accomplishment for our universities because obviously it's a recognition of the value of the education that you have access at each of the universities. Most recently, this year, there was a ranking of which are the most international universities in the world, and the University of Alberta and Waterloo were mentioned respectively in position 31st and 34th in a ranking of 100 universities. So this being said, what are some of the benefits for people to contact CALDO when they are looking for programs? Like I mentioned at the beginning, contacting CALDO will give you direct access to 9 different universities. You will be able to uh, have detailed information on programs, on how to apply, just by a single point of contact. So just by sending an email to Caldo, you are able to gather the information that you need at least to start making, um, to start gathering information. If you are applying with funding from your country, so if you are from Chile, if you are considering to apply for funding from CONICYT, and if you want to do a PhD, you will need to get a supervisor. And we have a specific dedicated platform for candidates to use that will put them in contact with supervisors. That is called the CALDO pre-assessment platform, and it's basically a platform where you input your profile and we are able to contact professors. Once you're in Canada, we can also be of assistance if you have any issues with your sponsoring agency, or if by any chance you would like to know something from your university and you're not able to get that information. We are also able to assist you there. Just as a summary of what I just mentioned, the biggest value of the call service is basically to give you easily access to information and also to be able to guide you through the process of admission that can be somewhat confusing for someone that is not used to dealing with Canadian universities or universities in North America in general. One excellent source of information is our website. So if you go to www.caldo.ca, you are able to check out the resources that are available at our website. And some of those resources are very useful because it will give you right away an idea of which are the main things that a candidate needs to do in order to apply. In addition to that, we also have resources that assist you with the admission process. So documents that you need or information on how to contact a supervisor is readily and very easily available at our website. In addition to that, we also have our email that you can see here, graduate.coordinator.ca at caldo.ca. That will provide you access to personalized counseling, personalized advice. And all of our services are free, so you don't need to pay anything for them. So you just need to basically contact us, let us know what you're looking for, and we will try to assist you as best as possible. One of the things that I recommend to do after the webinar is finished is basically browse our website and see if there are information that you can find useful right away. Once you have an idea of what you want to study, send me an email at graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca, and I will be more than happy to assist you with any information that you may have in regards to the program or programs that you might be considering to do in Canada. So right now, the presentation about the CALDO universities and the services is basically completed. And before moving on to the question and answer period, I would like to introduce a guest speaker that we have today with us. That was very kind to get some of his busy schedule free for us to be able to give his testimony. Um, that is Manuel. That is a researcher from Chile that is no, doing research at the Heart Institute in Canada, more specifically in Ottawa. The Art Institute is part of the University of Ottawa, and it's part of his medical school. And Manuel is working on a team with another Chilean colleague, developing very interesting research that he can just give some description once he is presenting his experience of living and doing research in Canada. So Manuel, if you can hear me,
Yes.
yes.
Can you hear me?
So yes, perfectly. So if you don't mind, go ahead and let's hear a bit about your experience in Canada so far.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paul. Bueno, muy buenas tardes a todos los presentes. Para comenzar, me gustaría comentarle un poco sobre lo que es vivir en Canadá. Eh, bueno, una de las primeras cosas que a uno le viene a la mente cuando le mencionan Canadá es sobre el clima, ¿verdad? Les debo comentar que generalmente lo que es verano, otoño y gran parte de la primavera es un clima bastante agradable, en muchos casos mucho mejor que en Chile, diría yo. Lo que es el invierno, que es tal vez una de las cosas que más suele preocupar, es cierto que no es fácil, no es Chile, se ve nieve prácticamente por 4 o 5 meses, pero tampoco es así en todas las provincias de Canadá, ciertamente. Y la verdad es que después de un mes se acostumbran muy fácilmente y tampoco es algo que no puedan superar con la indumentaria adecuada. En términos de costos de vida, Canadá es más caro que Chile. Ciertamente al principio puede costar un poco acostumbrarse, pero con las becas que otorga Chile, en términos de becas Chile, por ejemplo, es suficiente para vivir una persona. O sea, pueden perfectamente arrendar un dormitorio o incluso tal vez un departamento y vivir tranquilamente. Obviamente no van a tener ciertos lujos, pero se puede vivir bastante tranquilo. Eh, bueno, si tienen alguna pregunta respecto a lo que es vivir en Canadá, se las puedo responder perfectamente, no hay problema con eso. Ahora, respecto a hacer investigación en Canadá, en comparación a Chile, les comento un poco sobre lo que yo hago. Eh, yo estoy trabajando, tal como decía Pablo, en el Instituto del Corazón, que es parte de la Universidad de Ottawa. Y básicamente lo que nos dedicamos en el instituto es desarrollar biomateriales para ser aplicado tanto en tratamientos en el corazón, valga la redundancia, también en la piel y también realizamos tratamientos materiales para trabajar sobre el ojo. En este aspecto son muchas cosas que, si bien es cierto, no es ciencia para hacer cohetes, es muy difícil de desarrollar en Chile en términos de los tiempos y los plazos con los cuales se trabaja. ¿Qué quiero decir con esto? Usualmente cuando nosotros trabajamos en Chile, y esto porque hice mi doctorado también en Chile, uno se ve afectado a tener que preparar su tesis, preparar sus propios experimentos, pero a la larga uno se ve con mucho impedimento en términos de equipamiento, que no siempre se encuentran en la misma universidad en la cual ustedes están realizando su tesis, lo cual a usted los va deteniendo en el tiempo y lo hace demorar mucho más a lo cuales son sus objetivos finales. Esto lo más probable es que no lo van a ver en Canadá, ya que cada universidad tiene múltiples equipos, están todas a la disposición de ustedes y no hay operadores de por medio. ¿Qué quiere decir esto? Que básicamente ustedes van a tener el entrenamiento para ocupar todos los equipos que deseen ocupar y ustedes posteriormente van a ocuparlos ustedes mismos sin que haya un intermediario, por lo cual no solamente van a realizar eficientemente su experimento, sino que además están obteniendo el entrenamiento adecuado para poder trabajar ustedes mismos con el equipamiento, lo cual les da un plus inmediatamente a la parte curricular de ustedes. También otra cosa de la que deben tener claro es, no tengan miedo en términos de el nivel educacional que ustedes tienen. El nivel educacional que nosotros tenemos en Chile es muy similar al que se tiene aquí en Canadá para venir a realizar tanto un magíster, un doctorado, un postdoctorado. Así que no tengan nunca ese miedo de que tal vez van a saber menos, porque no es así. Ustedes saben lo mismo o mucho más de lo que sabe la gente aquí en Canadá. No tengan nunca ese miedo. Eh, Otra cosa respecto a estudiar en Canadá es, yo creo que el primer paso que tienen que dar es para poder dejar Chile, es simplemente tener la idea de querer salir del país. Es cierto que si nunca han salido, tal vez el primer mes o el segundo mes van a extrañar a la familia, que generalmente pasa, pero ya después se empiezan a acostumbrar al tiempo aquí en Canadá y obviamente van a ser amigos. La gente en Canadá es súper amigable, o sea, si saben algo de Canadá o incluso han visto programas de televisión, es tal cual, o sea, la gente en Canadá es súper amigable. Por lo demás, tal como mencionaba Pablo, es súper multicultural. Siempre van a encontrar diferentes tipos de personas de distintas partes del mundo. Si bien es cierto, Chile ahora nosotros nos estamos abriendo, a recibir inmigrantes. Canadá lo ha hecho por siempre, es un país de inmigrantes. Entonces van a encontrar gente de Japón, China, India. Por ejemplo, en mi laboratorio trabajamos gente de Canadá, gente de India, gente de Japón, hay gente de Turquía, hay gente de México. Por lo tanto, siempre se van a encontrar en un ambiente bastante multicultural, lo que no solamente lo expande usted en cómo ven el mundo, sino que también amplía de gran manera el horizonte y los contactos que ustedes van a formar en el futuro, pensando en que ustedes van a buscar ya sea trabajo en una empresa o en el mundo de la academia, siempre van a necesitar una red de contacto bastante grande. Y además que también a través de CALDO ustedes van a poder ampliar esta red de trabajo. Por lo tanto, yo creo que la verdad los beneficios de estudiar en Canadá son bastante grandes. Incluso si ustedes empiezan a comparar, si quisieran ir a Europa, a otros países, Canadá ofrece multitud de beneficios que otros países no le van a ofrecer en términos de seguridad, en términos de cómo es el tipo de vida que van a llevar ustedes. Eh, no sé si tienen mayor pregunta o cosa que podría ayudarlo a expandir. I don't know, are you hear me, Paulo?
Yes, yes, Manuel. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just silent so that so that you could explain your ideas. Yes,
Yeah.
what Manuel said is basically some of the major things that sometimes the prospective candidates have some doubts with day-to-day aspects, and also how it is to study in Canada in terms of the um, of the difference between the Canadian academic system and the Chilean. One thing that it's probably a good idea, a good topic to mention also, Manuel, is the fact that how was your adaptation to working in an English-speaking environment? Did you adapt easily? Did you have any issues with the language itself, or did you find it was very easy to adapt?
That is a really good question. So, respecto a cómo adaptarse al inglés, bueno, de partida es cierto que para ustedes poder estudiar en Canadá en algunas de las universidades tienen que realizar una prueba de inglés. No es así para los postdoctorados, si es que hay algún interesado en el público. Lo cierto es que el inglés, si bien es complicado, si es que ustedes nunca han tenido inglés en su vida, es complicado. Pero si ustedes han tenido inglés en el colegio, en la universidad, yo creo que tienen todas las facilidades para poder aprender rápidamente. En mi caso, llegué a Canadá con un inglés relativamente bajo, pero después de 2 meses el oído se adapta muy rápidamente y si bien cuesta la pronunciación con el tiempo, uno se adapta muy rápidamente a poder realizar todas las cosas básicas que son necesarias realizar en Canadá. Por lo tanto, de verdad, no creo que el hablar el inglés o francés, si que ustedes prefieren hablar francés, vaya a ser un gran impedimento para la gente en Chile, la verdad.
Okay. And in terms of the immigration, did you find it was easy to take care of all the documents that you needed to come here?
So, para en términos de inmigración, bueno, tengo entendido que ustedes deberían, la gente que esté interesada debería venir con un permiso de estudio o un work permit.
Yes.
En el caso de ya sea cualquiera de los dos, yo creo que lo primero que deben seguir ustedes a través de la vía regular para esos papeles específicamente es contactar a la embajada en Argentina a través del mail. Chile tiene embajada de Canadá, obviamente, pero lamentablemente nuestra embajada en nuestro país no realiza los documentos para la visa. Mi recomendación es, ustedes envían un mail a la embajada en Argentina y les comentan que ustedes desean postular o ya tienen su aceptación en la universidad en Canadá. En mi caso fue para la Universidad de Ottawa. Y ellos les van a decir inmediatamente, ok, tienes que seguir estos pasos. Se puede hacer toda la aplicación a través de internet, es muy fácil de realizar, donde primero ustedes tienen que responder una encuesta, donde básicamente les preguntan a qué vienen a Canadá. Después de eso, ustedes aplican a través del sistema, suben los papeles, básicamente les piden un currículum la carta de aceptación en la universidad, en este caso probablemente CALDO les va a proveer todo eso. Y ustedes básicamente aplican y generalmente demoran entre un mes a 3 meses a darle la aplicación a la visa y con eso no tienen ningún problema. Incluso si alguno después quisiera quedarse en Canadá o buscar trabajo después en otra cosa, usted después de cierta cantidad de tiempo pueden aplicar a la residencia permanente en Canadá.
Yes. Although if you are coming with a scholarship from CONICYT, you are required to go back to the country. So
Yeah.
this is just for those that are interested in applying to the CONICYT. So we have a question here from Eva. En relación al idioma, me gustaría preguntar sobre los cursos de nivelación y la opción de becas para ello. So Eva, our universities, they have language schools that are able to provide some programs that assist students to reach or to improve the level of language. And the CONICYT, they are one of the few agencies that finance up to 6 months of language training for students that don't yet have the minimum required, but that are very close to getting it. However, the aspect here is that if the level of language that you have is very different in terms of being too low for the minimum that the program requires, probably 6 months may not be enough for you to get to the level of English that the program requires. So for example, let's imagine that you have an IELTS of 5 and the program requires a 7.5. 6 months will not likely be enough time to do that move from a 5 to a 7.5. However, CONICYT does provide some financing for language, which is always a good a good option in case where the student does not have the minimum level of language. For everyone to be aware, the most commonly accepted tests for English language are the TOEFL IBT or the IELTS Academic. For French, the most common tests are the TFI or the DALF/DELF. So those are the most common tests for language. So as Eva did just now, if you have any questions, write them in the chat box. We still have some minutes left for the presentation. So please make sure that if you have any questions, just write them and we can answer them during this presentation. If by any chance you have questions that come up afterwards, just send me an email and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Manuel, just another aspect that came across my mind. When you got to Canada, more specifically to Ottawa, how was the process of adapting to living in Ottawa? So how was your process of finding a home? Just doing the basic things, shop for groceries, get the clothes for winter. How was that process?
Bueno, el proceso de adaptación a todo nuevo lugar a veces cuesta un poco. En mi caso fue relativamente fácil porque recibí bastante apoyo. A través de mi supervisor, me quedé con él los primeros días. Posteriormente de eso, mientras me quedaba con él, busqué a través de una página que acá en Canadá es súper conocida, que se llama Kijiji, que uno puede encontrar departamentos en todas partes de Canadá y un precio muy bueno. Entonces me moví a una habitación donde ya estaba solo y con la gente que vivía en ese mismo lugar me hice bastante amigo. Entonces iba a comprar con ellos, como ellos ya sabían vivir acá, me enseñaron cómo comprar en Canadá, ciertas cosas que son algo distinto a Chile, no es que sea algo totalmente distinto. Por ejemplo, el banco funciona de forma distinta a Chile porque aquí el banco funciona hasta las 8 de la noche, en Chile cierra a las 2 de la tarde. Es todo más cercano porque no tienen vidrio, no tienen nada, uno tiene directo contacto con las personas en el banco. Respecto a la ropa de invierno, la gente donde ustedes trabajen les van a ayudar siempre, o sea, ellos mismos los van a llevar a comprar su abrigo de invierno, lo mismo con los zapatos, y siempre los van a buscar los lugares más baratos y de la mejor calidad. O sea, de verdad que los canadienses son súper amigables. En términos de adaptación, no creo que les cueste mucho. En general, no creo que de la gente que conozco a nadie le ha costado mucho el término de la adaptación porque es bastante amigable el sistema canadiense con los extranjeros.
Okay, thank you. In the meantime, we have a question from Freddy. Freddy is asking cómo funcionan los PhD en Canadá, si hay una base de cursos que te permiten generar una base de conocimiento o es pura investigación. Freddy, the PhD programs, you will have in the first and second year, you will have courses. So you will go to classes. There are some courses that students take. Afterwards, they need to do an exam at the end, if I'm not mistaken, of the first year or the second. I think it depends on the program. And the third and fourth year are basically just research. So there's a mix of things. You will first have some context, some classes that you need to go to in order to be familiarized with probably some concepts that we will need to address during your research. But from the middle to the end of the program, it's mostly just research. So you will be working alongside your supervisor, and you will be working, depending on the program, obviously in a laboratory, or you will just be focused on your thesis and writing and doing the research that you need to do in order to complete the thesis by the end of the PhD, obviously.
Solamente para agregar un par de cosas, primero respecto a la pregunta de Eva, bueno, tal como decía Pablo, si tú alcanzas el nivel, aquí dentro de Canadá tú también vas a tener opción para seguir nivelándote una vez estén acá, tener cursos de inglés para seguir perfeccionando tu inglés y además si también lo deseas puedes aplicar a tener cursos de francés en alguna de las universidades. O sea, eso está dentro de las opciones que tú vas a tener una vez estés en Canadá. Y respecto al PhD, Freddy, básicamente funcionan igual que en Chile. No hay mayor diferencia en cómo funciona un PhD en Canadá como funciona en Chile. Es decir, los primeros 3 semestres tienes clases, después tienes un examen de calificación que acá le llaman TAC, y después de eso sigue todo lo que es investigación, tal como tú mencionas, pura y propia. O sea, no es tampoco algo
Yes.
muy distinto a lo que vas a obtener en Chile, cómo funciona un programa de PhD.
Mhm. Yes, yes. Thank you, Manuel, for that input. Um, so just for our participants to understand, Manuel, you did your studies in Chile in regards to your PhD, or you did a mix of in Chile and in Canada?
So, yo hice mi pregrado en Chile, mi doctorado en Chile y parte de mi doctorado acá en Canadá. Y una vez terminé mi estudio de doctorado y hice mi internado aquí en Canadá, se me ofreció desde aquí de Canadá hacer un postdoctorado pagado totalmente por la universidad acá. En mi caso particular no necesité becas CONICET porque ellos inmediatamente vieron el valor del trabajo de alguien de Chile para trabajar en Canadá, cosa que les podría llegar a suceder a ustedes. O sea, siempre van a quedar como les decía, con buena posición. No existe el miedo de que nosotros sabemos menos que la gente en Canadá o en Estados Unidos. Yo actualmente trabajo tanto con gente de Canadá como con Harvard y trabajamos codo a codo, o sea, no hay mayor diferencia en esos temas. O sea, nunca tengan ese miedo y como les digo, yo también estudié en Chile, así que les cuento de experiencia propia.
Mhm. Thank you. Um, so if there is no other questions, um, I would like to thank Manuel for taking the time to be with us today. It was really good to hear from you, and I think that the people that will hear this webinar either right now in the live presentation or in the video that afterwards will be available will find it very useful. In the meantime, I'm just going to reply to the question from Ira that is asking if there's a master program in aquaculture science. Ira, I will ask you to send me an email to graduate.coordinator@cal.ca because our universities offer very different types of programs, and it's the first time that someone asked me a specific program about aquaculture. I'm pretty sure that there must be something about that, because, like I mentioned, our universities have several programs related to both aquatic research and also food science, animal science. So I'm pretty sure that there must be something related to aquaculture. I will request if you can send me in the email a bit of the background that you have. So what was your licenciatura, in which area, and if you are interested in any particular university from CALDO or in any particular province, so that I can have an idea of how to address your question. Um, so that being said, I would just like to like I was saying, thank Manuel for his time to be here with us today, and also to everyone that took the time to participate. Thank you, and we'll make the video of this webinar available. So you will be receiving an email with the link for where you can see the video. And any questions that you may have, feel free to contact us, and we are here to assist you the best we can. And like I said, all of our services are free, so don't worry that you don't need to pay anything to use the CALDO services. It's just a matter of letting us know what you need, and we will try to assist you the best we can. So from my end, thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you so much, Paula.
Thank you, Manuel. Enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.